Hey everyone, welcome back. This is another StarCraft 2 weekend commentary. Today we're going to be, of course, covering WhiteRa and prOpBobson. This is one of the latest games. It happened just a little while back. Of course, this is a ladder game between WhiteRa and prOpBobson. On the bottom left corner of the Entombed Valley, we have prOpBobson as the blue Terran player, and top right is WhiteRa as the red Protoss player. Now, this map so far is a little bit big, so we're not going to see any like initial quick pushes or rushes into this map. Most probably they will be going for the second base as always, because again these are pro level players. So pretty much on the pro level games you have rarely an actual you can say a build up of rushes. I have rarely seen a rush in the pro level base game. So of course, nothing much really happening so far in the initial of the game. We do have the gateway, followed by the simulator, so he's going for a forge pad, fast expand. He is actually still, it's time will tell what exactly he's going for. The wall is still not completed. Of course, the SCV is going down to scout that out, and that probe will just maybe manage to slip through. No, he's going for that second command center, so finally that Marine, just a little bit late though. A few seconds late, that Marine is going to be managing to do a little bit of harass, but it will be caught off. Very nice kiting, and that is the end of that Marine. So far WhiteRa is still on that single base, while prOpBobson, I'll just call him Bobson, is starting off that second command center. Of course, that Zealot is coming into play as well. He does want to get that scouting out to see exactly where he stands. WhiteRa, of course, is very key on sacrificing those units to get that scouting into play. So he really wants to get that, and this should pretty much be able to counteract this Zealot. So that is the end of the Zealot. He is going for that second Nexus as well. A little bit behind WhiteRa in terms of his base. He has a lot of gas coming online as well. So I'm not sure if we're going to see a lot of tech coming into play, or maybe what exactly is going to be using all that gas for. So robotics facility, there we have our answer for. So probably an immortal or two, and of course an observer, or so we thought. So a lot of gateways coming down now finally. So we do have a 3 gateway build. Hold on. Yeah, we do have a 3 gateway build with a robotics bay facility. So he is going for that destructible debris. So planning going for that third pretty early on in the game. We do have that SCV, of course, managing to sneak in through. He still has no units to counteract this SCV scout. So the SCV scout by Bobson will pretty much be able to see everything he has. And since he did spot out that he has nothing, Marines, of course, are going to be streaming across the map. So now the question is, will WhiteRa have what he needs to counteract this push? And I think that observer should be able to spot this out. So he will see that he already has a lot of units on the Xel'Naga tower, and once he spots that, he should actually start building up something to counteract the actual build. I don't know why he actually he's moving forward with the observer, as he does want to see what else is happening in his base so far, and he will be able to pretty much scout out everything in terms of his base. So he did see that there are a couple of units, as we do have finally enough Zealots and sentries to deal with that. Look at the actual production tab of the Terrans. You do have a lot of upgrades coming into play again, so he pretty much scouted out everything that he needs to know. And finally the missile turret is coming into play. I do believe prOpBobson did spot that cloaked observer just sneaking by. He's moving back, of course, to the Xel'Naga tower to keep an eye out on the units and seeing when they will be moving out. So finally the first Colossus is coming in for WhiteRa, followed by, of course, the 1-1 upgrades and the thermal lance to make it very effective against those Terran units. So very nice counter by WhiteRa. He is keeping a little bit ahead. Here we have that sacrificial factory scout coming into play again. So hopefully this factory will be able to get further on, and we do have no stalkers into play, so he will get a very nice scout out. No, he is going to be placing it down here, so he will be using that a little bit later on. We do have maybe a ninja. No, we don't. I did think we had a ninja expansion there, but the observer, of course, sees all this, so he is going to be scouting that out with that one unit and sees that there's too much, so he's going to be retreating, or maybe he's going to be doing a different drop from a different angle, and he is going to be doing a different drop from a different angle. That observer should, of course, be coming down and scouting out. The scan, of course, coming down. No observers being placed there, so here comes that drop by prOpBobson. Bobson, of course, moving to the bottom right, and he's pretty much in place, WhiteRa, so there's not really such a big deal, and he's going for a two position push though. So of course a lot of force fields being placed out, but that was just a psych, and he did move in, and he is going to be taking out that forge, and he's going to be going in for that second forge. Of course, he prevented all those upgrades from coming into play, so very nice counter by Bobson being very aggressive. Loads up, of course, those units and moving back down. Finally that first medevac does drop, and a second medevac. very effective by Bobson. Bobson did prove to hinder WhiteRa's upgrades in a very, very effective way. So he could actually make a little bit of harass here again, dropping it down, but he won't do that because then he'll put out his actual positions. So so far, of course, he has a probe, and pretty much he has pylons all around the so-called hidden positions, and in case there might be a ninja expansion, so he will see what is happening. This medevac is going to be holding on. He's going to be rebuilding, of course, getting that blink research online as well, holding off for this third base and keeping up his defenses on that third base as well. And so far, the observer being placed here, that's pretty much where most of the actual movements are going to happen. So in case Bobson does feel like that the main entry towards the base is pretty much scouted out, he can go from the side, and that'll pretty much surprise WhiteRa. So that'll be a nice move if he does, in case if he does decide to do that. Again, what he could do is place down maybe a drop here with a couple of medevacs and then move in. But we do have, of course, those cannons being placed off. Again, those forges are being chrono boosted now, since he is substantially behind in terms of the actual upgrades. He is going for that 2-2 upgrade, while Bobson is still on the 1-1, but we do have a lot of Vikings, of course, to counteract those Colossus. So we do have a lot of Viking buildup happening here again to counter those Colossus, and so far more Vikings, and finally that one medevac into play as well. Now he did move again that observer a little bit down towards the Xel'Naga Tower, but not at the Xel'Naga Tower yet. He is trying to keep his actual range a little bit on, and finally that fourth base I think might be coming down. No, it's not really still. He is going for those 2-2 upgrades. Yes, it is coming down, just a little bit off of my expected timing on when Bobson would be placing that down. So that one Zealot, of course, being charged in, Zealot charge has been placed, and he did take out that actual upgrade itself. And the question is scan being plopped down a little bit too late. He does spot that out, so he's going to be building up and preventing that scan from happening. He did blink back, so he's going to be making a little bit of damage. And will he split it up, Bobson? Will he split up those actual units of Vikings and Marauders? And a Marine heavy build with the medevacs are very, very effective. Again, scan being placed down, just missed in terms of where that build up is, and WhiteRa should pretty much mop this up very, very effectively. Of course, blinking forward to try to take out as many units as possible to try to prevent and make more damage. So I'm not sure if he's going to be actually moving back. We do have a ghost again in play, so we are starting to have a few ghosts in play for Bobson. Again, scan coming down. Again, he did miss off the bulk of the actual army, so Bobson still is not quite sure exactly what size the Protoss ball is. Again, sorry, I did miss that drop. We did have that medevac drop with just that one medevac that was here, and he won't be able to take this down, but he will get killed. He will load up the medevac, but a little bit too late. This will drop, and Bobson knows that, so he just leaves it be. And that is the end of this drop, but again, very, very effective. We do have a lot of gateways coming into play, so that is it for WhiteRa. WhiteRa is going to be very, very aggressive from now on. We do have 5 gateways here, followed by another 5, so 10 gateways in total. And this is it. I don't think that this game is going to go on any longer. WhiteRa is pretty much gearing up for a full-out assault. We do have that Psionic Storm again, so we're going to have a couple of Dark Templars into play again. Cloak Research coming in for the Ghosts, so which will prove a little quite effective. Again, the SCVs did surround those the actual Zealot, and the SCVs haven't moved off just to sacrifice them to free up the supply line. So pretty much both players are maxed out on supply. We do have a lot of Vikings and a bio build done by Bobson, but unfortunately all of this heavy bio build is not going to prove very effective, as the Colossus are pretty much going to fry that out. Unfortunately, that proved to be very devastating. Of course, force fields being placed down, scan being moved in. Of course, the Vikings are trying to flank and try to get to those Colossus, but not very effective in terms of being able to do that at all. So not sure if this is going to turn out in any way towards WhiteRa, but I mean towards Bobson. So far it seems that WhiteRa does have the advantage. Of course, those Archons in play again, another scan coming down. He should be able to pick this off. I don't know why he doesn't move up and pick that off. He did blink back. He didn't manage to even take one down. We do have those SCVs move forward with that medevac. I don't know why he is moving it with the medevac, unless he does want to sacrifice that medevac as well, and from the looks of it he does. So I think that was rally though, so he did lose that medevac because he did miss rally at that point. We do have, of course, more upgrades coming into play. Finally, those Vikings moving forward, and these Colossus are pretty much going to prove a lot of damage for these bio units. He, of course, did micro him a little bit back, and the Vikings should pretty much mop up the Colossus, and that's it. The bio wall should be taking care of that. Vikings move down, of course, for the ground push, and the ground push is happening very, very aggressively here, and so far it does seem to be up for Bobson. Bobson needs to do some finally economical damage, and very, very quickly he needs to do some economical damage before WhiteRa does build up. And of course with those 10 to 20, I think 10 gateways that he does have, and more robotics base being built in, it is very aggressive. He's going to be cancelling, of course, all this out, and he's going to be losing this Nexus. So far, so good for Bobson. Bobson proving to be a really force to be reckoned with a lot of Vikings and that intense bio-ball build. So he pretty much, WhiteRa countered and recovered what he could. Of course, a very nice play to take care of those High Templars. If you could kill off those High Templars, that's a lot of resources lost, and he will pretty much be able to mop this up as well. So really nice pincer movement, even though a little units here, he could push up though. He blinks those stalker units up, and still a very, very nice play by WhiteRa. WhiteRa really caught in the corner here, and Bobson really pushing in, having that aggressive push. We do have, of course, those ghosts again, providing that nice sniping within the back. So far so good in terms of the bio build-up, but the question is, will he be able to hold this off? I think he will. Of course, that is it, and WhiteRa calls it a GG, and that bio ball with the continuous streaming of backup units is really what Bobson has going for him, and that is it. He did win, of course, the game with a very nice 3-3 upgrade for Bobson, while WhiteRa again on 3-3 upgrades, but the unit composition and, of course, the very nice counter with those Vikings proved to be a winning streak for Bobson. So this is it for the second game, and this is the last commentary that I'm going to be doing for this weekend. And as always, see you guys next weekend. Happy gaming and enjoy your weekend. Bye.